hello there. You're listening to The Free Phils with me, your host, Phil Wainwright. Joining me in the studio is former football manager and big personality, Big Phil Philson. And of course the man himself, voted Deep Thought magazine's most likely to be a shining light in the darkness of modernity. That's right, it's Phil the Money Morrison, talent agent extraordinaire. So let's get right into it, because today on the show we want to discuss the death of the High Street. Perhaps our resident Phils can provide a solution. Some are suggesting the death of the High Street may be linked to all of the deaths that take place on the High Street. Others suggest the decline in foot traffic could be related to the increase in fellow citizens being high out of their minds on street drugs on the High Street. However, the data seems to suggest that people just prefer staring into the screens of their various devices and masturbating, Phils. So what do we think about all of this? Let's start with you, Phil the Money Morrison. What do you think about the death of the High Street?
It's Big Phil Philson here. I'm just popping out, Duck. I've got to go and do something, lad. I'll be back in a minute, alright? Just got to pop out, Duck.
Wait, Big Phil Philson, you can't pop out. You've got to stay here. The show has just started, Big Phil Philson, and there's absolutely no way you can leave the studio, I'm afraid.
He's already gone, Phil. Settle down. He said he'll be back soon. Let's carry on discussing these issues facing here High Street. You see, Phil, I'm always looking for a good deal, but the pickings are slim nowadays on the aromatic herb shelf. You can't get anything like that at the supermarket, or supermarché if you're French. This is part of the problem with the High Street, Phils. You see, the High Street stores are not offering the choice that they should be offering. I was representing a talent in the security industry, a very talented security guard. I was taking 25% as his agent, and in return I would ensure that my client would work the finest stores that the High Street could offer. Things were going well for a time, Phils, but shoplifting really started to plague the industry and started to affect the amount of funds that were available to hire the most talented security personnel. Things really started to get out of control. I mean, at one point, local guys were graduating from shoplifting to full-blown street sliding. Now, when they're lifting stores off the ground and they're sliding streets adjacent to where they used to be, it plays havoc with the parking. And all of that was really starting to grind my gears, so to speak, to rile me up, to get me going. And it was really a long walk for a short drink of water, I could tell you that much, Phil. So I walked away from the whole industry.
Right, and that's quite interesting what you say there about parking as well, because they're always advertising high street parking, ample parking on the high street. But whenever I try to park on the high street, I'm always distracted by the screaming pedestrians, and their blood and their bone gets caught under the window wipers and under the tyres. There's just human debris really everywhere, and it makes you wonder why they even suggest parking on the high street at all. It doesn't look like Big Phil Philson is backing the studio yet. My producer is urging me to go to the phone lines. Caller number 1, you're live on the air with the Free Phils. What would you like to say?
Well, I find it ironic that a bag for life is the tool of choice for self-asphyxiation enthusiasts. That's ironic to me. But I have also called in to discuss Big Phil Philson. He's out of control. He's really out of control, and I called about him on the last episode, and now he's here with me at my house. I mean, what the fuck is he doing here? He's sniffing my seat again. What's going on?
Please compose yourself, caller number 1. We want to help you get to the bottom of this, and if you could put Big Phil Philson on, I'd be happy to talk to him about this matter. But we certainly can't have language on the Free Phils, certainly not from a caller number 1. So please, put Big Phil Philson on the line.
All right.
Hey up, Ducker. What do you want, lad? I said I'll be back in the studio soon, didn't I? What do you want? What's caller number 1 doing calling you anyway?
What do I want? I want you to be back in the studio, Big Phil Philson, where you belong. Why have you left? And why have you been seat-sniffing again, Big Phil Philson? It doesn't make sense to me.
I'm not, Duck. I'm not seat-sniffing again, like. I'm off the smack and crack, and I'm not sniffing his seat, no. I'm just here making sure that caller number 1 is okay.
Big Phil Philson, you'd better come back here and explain yourself, I think. But before you do, please tell us about your thoughts on the death of the High Street, if you can.
OK, Duck, I'm sorry, like, it's been a bit silly really popping out studio, like, but I do have some thoughts on the High Street, you'll be glad to know. Our High Street, Duck, it suffers a great many ills, does our High Street. You know, I used to be very fond of this shop they had back when I was a lad in our town, you know. A lovely shop it was. It was a boutique scarving outlet, you know. They did lovely scarves and cravats, if you like that sort of thing. Neckerchiefs, if you're into that sort of thing. And you like that, you know. And I did very much. But some local lads, well, they used to rob the poor shop blind, they did, Duck. I don't know why they wore blindfolds. I suppose it was to sort of prove themselves and show their talents, as it were. In the end, the lads started pressuring me, you know. I wasn't in football management at the time, you know, and local lads started looking at me and they started saying, Big Phil Philson, what you going to do? You're going to get involved, like. And I, you know, sure enough, I gave in to peer pressure, I have to say, Duck. Next thing you know, I'm knee-deep in silk scarves and cravats, you know, flogging them down the local pub, you know, 2 cravats, you know, for the price of 1. That sort of thing, Duck.
I just have to interject there, Big Phil Philson, because where was the security guard in all of this? I wonder if there's a thread here we're finding out, because Phil the Money Morrison made comments about security guards, and I feel like there should have been a security guard to stop all of these scarves getting stolen and going missing. Was that the problem, Big Phil Philson?
Well, Duck, I was the security guard, you know, but unfortunately I had to resign from being the security guard in the end anyway, due to a conflict in interest, you know. I wanted to take the company in a different direction to what they did. I wanted to keep robbing from them, and they wanted me not to do that. So negotiations broke down, essentially, Duck, and our Martha at the time went potty, but shortly after I went into football management, and here we are.
I see. It does sound as if they lost an invaluable employee, Big Phil Philson. But I am going to have to ask you to stop sniffing caller number 1's bike seat now, if that is what you're doing, and get back into the studio. Okay, while we wait for Big Phil Philson, let's go back to the phone lines. Caller number 2, you're live on the air with the Free Phils. What are your thoughts on the death of the High Street?
Hi there, Mr. Wainwright. It's a great show. I could listen to that Phil the Money Morrison all day long. I really could. But I actually called in last time too. I was talking about that Big Phil Philson and his seat sniffing, you know. I think he is sniffing that guy's seat. After hearing that he was at the guy's house, my suspicions about Big Phil Philson's seat sniffing have only compounded and become stronger. But I do have some thoughts about the High Street too. These shops, they make you pay through the nose nowadays, Phil. And the money gets covered in snot and it's unhygienic. Everything's changing. I can remember when chip and pin meant a French fry and a sewing needle, but it doesn't mean that at all now. It's some cardmadoodah. You know, it's all gone crazy, but I do love the show. You can count on the Free Phils to keep you sane. That's right, Ruba.
Thank you, caller number 2. Very interesting. Now, let's go to the news headlines. Ripped from the headlines and put in front of me to read to you is this. The Eritrean Health Board recommends 8 pints of water per day. That's 8 whole pints of water per day. But it has little other guidelines for the proper care of slaves, causing some slaves to rethink Eritrea as a holiday destination. Oh, look who's decided to turn up. It's Big Phil Philson.
Yeah, you're right, Duck.
Whoa, Big Phil Philson, what are you doing, man? You got a guy with duct tape. Why is that man all tied up with duct tape there, Big Phil Philson? What is he doing here? This is crazy.
What tape, Duck?
Duct tape, Phil.
Yeah, Duck, but what type of tape are you talking about?
We don't have time for this. Big Phil Philson, we cannot have you bringing people into the studio tied up with duct tape. It's not normal, and it's not really professional, to be honest with you.
Calm down, lad. It's only caller number one, and he likes to be, he likes to be like this. He dresses like this, I suppose. It's what's in vogue, Duck. Ah, bollocks! He's getting away. Look what you've done, Duck. He's getting away. He's out studio door now. Are you happy now, Phil Wainwright? You've gone and lost caller number one.
Fuck it. Fuck you, Big Phil Philson. I'm sick of this. I want a proper on-the-air personality if we're going to continue like this. Not someone who sniffs seats and duct tapes people. I'm a professional. I can't have this. Please join us again next week or whenever the fuck we do this show for more of the Free Phils. I'm Phil Wainwright. Thank you.